Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I'm here today to talk about our good friend, the Pixel 6, and how it's the most frustrating phone of the year. Now, when this phone first came out, there was a lot of fanfare. Even before the phone came out, it was Google's going to revolutionize the phone game. Google's Tensor chip is going to take things to the next level. It's going to take on Apple. And so many people were calling it phone of the year before it ever even came out. And after using it for a while, I mean, there are a lot of ways I could say it could very well be the phone of the year, but nobody can call it the phone of the year without addressing all the problems that it's been having. And it's not just the software related issues. We've got the whole issue with the fingerprint sensor, which has been upgraded and fixed through software fixes like 2 or 3 times already. The fingerprint sensor, very hit or miss when it first came out. A lot of people had issues with it. A lot of people had complaints. And especially put a screen protector on it, then it really made it difficult. So they've kind of fixed that. They've made it faster. They've made it more accurate. They made it more responsive. But it's still not perfect. And it's also very frustrating considering that Pixel was always known for having a super fast and accurate fingerprint sensor. Always had the fingerprint sensor on the back. It was great on the Pixel 5 and a lot of the other Pixel phones. So that was a frustration moving over to this phone. And then we had the phone charging debacle because everybody was led to believe that it was 30-watt charging, and then you find out that really there's no point in buying the 30-watt charger. That, of course, they didn't give you a charger in the box, but they encourage you to buy the 30-watt charger, which only charges about 15 minutes faster, 10 minutes faster than if you use an 18-watt charger that you could grab somewhere else. So the charging issue and the frustration people had with that and reporting that they were getting much slower charging, and then it has the adaptive charging, and then there's a lot of stuff there to where your effective charging rate, I think it ended up being like 12 or 13 watts or something like that. It was very low. So people have been frustrated about the fingerprint sensor. People have been frustrated about the charging issues. A lot of people have had concerns and reported heating issues and battery drain. So when you take all that stuff as a whole, and there was also a lot of discrepancies between the battery life. Like I was reporting, okay, hey, I'm getting 6 to 7 hours of screen on time on the high end, and then you have some other reviewers saying, oh, I'm only getting about 3 hours of battery life, and that just really didn't set well with me either. So looking at this and then taking all that and then adding on to it the software issues, not just the fact that we have software issues. Like we know that phones have software issues. Every time we get a new iOS upgrade, it has issues, but they get fixed pretty darn quick. And when we have Samsung, we've had issues with One UI in the past. With OnePlus and their OnePlus 9 series phones, they had to stop the Android 12 rollout because it was having so many issues. So it's not unusual or unreal for a brand new phone with a brand new chipset to have issues. What is novel is the fact that it's Google, and Google is in 100% in control of this now. Their whole point of getting the Tensor chip was to bring the software and the hardware in the same house so they could optimize it and extract the most out of it. And in a lot of ways they have, but they've also created problems because I don't think that they were well prepared enough for the underlying operation of Android 12 and its functionality with the Tensor chip, because everything needed to be modeled and worked for that as opposed to using a Snapdragon. So that was a novel issue. But also novel is with Google, it's taking so long to fix it. We still haven't gotten the security patch for December 8th. They tried to lump that in with this big software update, and then that started to roll out, and then it got paused. Nothing, not a word. Now, Google's acknowledged those problems, but then more problems have been surfacing. I've heard people talking about having not just signal issues, not just connectivity issues. They've removed some features. They've removed some of the features because those weren't working either. It's having issues apparently with some phones when it comes to the auto rotation having problems. And then on top of that, there's been reports of having breakage issues, particularly on the screen with the Pixel 6 Pro. So Google had a really great opportunity. They had all of the media on their side. They had all the reviewers on their side to knock this out of the park. And they kind of did it first. But part of that, I think, was artificially influenced by people so excited about the phone. And I made a video about this before the phone came out. And I said, this phone is setting itself up for failure because the hype machine is so strong behind it that no matter how good this phone is when it launches, when it does inevitably have problems, or if there are things that don't live up to expectations, it's going to start being taken down a notch by people like users and other reviewers and other people using it. So even as good as it could be, if it were completely perfect, then it still wasn't going to be as good or good enough as people had made it out to be. When you have a phone that people are calling phone of the year before they even have it in their hands, that's very problematic for a phone and how it's going to be received in the market. But then to take all that and to take all the hype, and Google actually advertised these things more than ever, and I think that's another point of issue here. this phone has probably been the most adopted out of the phones in the last couple of years because people really weren't excited about the Pixel 5. So looking at this phone, not Google fans I know were, but people not Google fans, and even some Pixel fans were not excited because it took a step back. There was no XL, there was no Pro model, it was a one-size-fits-all approach. Really didn't like that it had the Snapdragon 765G and some other things, but overall, I love the Pixel 6. I love the Pixel 6 Pro. They're both very, very capable devices, but in the wrong setting where it has issues, it can be the most maddening phone that's out there on the market right now because you can't even use it properly if you're experiencing these connectivity issues. And then on top of that, it's just did a couple of things. If it were just one issue, it wouldn't be problematic. But when you have Google seemingly unable to address these issues in a timely manner, when you're still waiting on security patches, when those are usually like clockwork every first Monday of the month, when you have issues with the fingerprint sensor, there's no facial recognition, which is still mind-numbingly head-scratching to me why they didn't even include that. You have the issues with the charge gate issues where we have the power adapter and the charging rates that are actually much lower than they are listed as. And there's just a lot of different things that I was really, really optimistic about it. I was really hopeful that there would be huge adoption rates at this $599 price point, even getting it cheaper during the holidays, $549, some places $499 with activation. It would seriously make people want to move over because, well, not just a good phone, but exciting from the price point and also cutting edge technology. So this isn't a phone I think is going to be a failure. I think that as soon as Google gets these software issues addressed, hopefully in the next few weeks, it'll be right as rain. We won't be ever talking about this anymore. But in retrospect, looking at 2021, looking at phones like how complete and well put together the iPhone 13, 13 Pro is, looking at how refined the experience is on the S21 Ultra and One UI 4, looking at how improved the Z Flip 3 is, looking at how improved the Duo 2 is. When you look at the Pixel 6, it was really, really exciting for like 2 or 3 weeks, and it seemed like everything was going up, and then it's just being nickeled and dimed to death. And maybe if this were iPhone or Samsung, maybe people wouldn't be so critical about it. They can get away with basically anything, and nobody really gets on their case. They have such a strong fan support system, it doesn't matter what they do. But then you look at the Pixel 6, and of course it's getting the LG treatment, it's getting the OnePlus treatment. Anything that offers a viable third party, people have to attack it in droves. And that's not what's happening here. I love the phone. I've made so many videos about how I like it, all the things I like about it, how I think it's the best Android phone for most people to pick up. But then I've had to reevaluate that over the last couple of weeks and say, maybe hold off on purchasing it. What are the problems here? Why can't Google address this stuff and get it fixed? Not because I'm being nitpicky, but because I care about the phone and I want to see them make some changes. So I don't even know if they watch my videos. I don't even know if they're going to send me a phone after all this. But criticism should be offered where it is due because that's how things change. That's how you look at something and say, okay, there's a problem here, there's a frustration here, there's an issue here. They need to get it fixed. They need to make it right, and they need to make it better for the next version. And I think we can all say it needs a different fingerprint sensor next year. It needs facial recognition. It needs to have actual hardware in it that charges the way that it's supposed to. And we need to have an experience that's not this problematic for certain people, especially with the signal and the connection issues, and then no real response. And I made a video about this too. They need to publicly say something. They need to let people know what's going on, what the problem is here, why it's being delayed, why we still haven't at least gotten our security patch updated if they can't fix everything yet. Why does it have to be lumped together? Why can't they split it up and do it differently like they normally do? So I don't know what the issue is here. I don't know if it's because Google is on the bigger stage now. I don't know if it's because they put so much marketing, so much money, and got so many eyes on it that it's more problematic than ever. But I've not experienced problems to this level across the board as far as the users and the feedback I'm getting and the news articles and the problems that are popping up. It makes it a very, very frustrating phone. It's one of those phones that's like, I love this phone, but it's very frustrating to keep talking about these things because they're just not going away. And every day that they don't address it, even like on Twitter, you see some tech reviewers now going, well, we're almost to January. Where's the December update? Maybe we'll get the December update in January. It's starting to get embarrassing. And it's something that Google needs to address. They need to say something, and then that will largely probably quiet a lot of people's voices and let them know what's going on. It's one thing to have problems, but if you have problems and the people who have created the problems are not in front of it saying, this is what we're trying to do, this is how we're trying to address it, these are the issues, it makes it that much more frustrating as an owner because you're like, why did I spend all this money on this when Google has this reputation for the software and the security and the services, but they can't get it right in their own phone? So Yeah, and I'm not trying to hate on this phone. I love this phone. I really enjoyed it. I love both of them, the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. But it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating for a lot of people. And as the days go by, I keep getting more and more comments from people saying, mine's messed up too. Mine's messed up too. Mine's still not fixed. I'm still having these issues. I didn't have these issues before. Now I have these issues. So hopefully we'll get a resolution soon. Hopefully Google will pull their head out of the rear end and say something, let people know what's going on, manage expectations, and give us a timeline to get it fixed. But for right now, hopefully your phone's working. I know some of you are having no issues. I'm happy for you. That's great. And if you are having issues, hopefully it'll be here soon. Hold on, and hopefully you can still use it in its current state. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those down in the comments section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and a little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.